You know that moment you flip a switch on your headphones and suddenly the whole world just melts away? It feels like straight up magic, right? Well, it's not. It's pure physics. And today, we're going to pull back the curtain on exactly how active noise cancellation works. Okay, picture this. You're on a plane and you're just surrounded by that constant loud drone of the engines. Ugh. You pop on your headphones, and just like that, silence. But here's the crazy part. They're not just muffling the sound, they are actively erasing it. So how on earth do they do that? Well, the answer is this. Really clever bit of physics. It's all about using sound to destroy sound. Seriously, it all comes down to figuring out what sound is in the first place and then using that very knowledge to just, tear it apart. Right, so before we get to the solution, we really need to wrap our heads around the problem itself, noise, that constant nagging sound that we're trying to get rid of. And that brings us to the most basic question of all. What is sound, really? Because before we can cancel it, we've got to know exactly what it is we're up against. So at its most basic level, sound is just a wave. It's a wave of pressure moving through the air. And honestly, the best way to picture this is to think about ripples in a pond. You toss a little stone in, and you see those waves spreading out. That's pretty much exactly what a sound wave is doing in the air all around you. Okay, so if you could zoom in on one of these waves, you'd see it's just this repeating pattern. It's got these high-pressure spots, we call those peaks, and these low-pressure spots called troughs. And when that whole up and down pattern hits your eardrum, your brain goes, aha, I hear something. Okay, so here's the big idea. If sound is just a wave, is there a way to stop it? And the answer is a big yes. It's done with a really cool principle called destructive interference. And folks, this right here, this is the absolute secret sauce behind the whole thing. So first, you've got the enemy, right? This is that unwanted noise wave, let's say from our airplane engine. It's just this constant pattern of peaks and troughs just hammering away at your ear. But this is where your headphones get really, really clever. They have a tiny microphone that listens to that incoming noise, and then, almost instantly, it creates a second sound wave. And this new wave is the exact opposite of the first one. It's a perfect mirror image. People call it an anti-sound wave. So wherever the original noise has a peak, this anti-sound wave has a trough. Get it? Perfect opposites. And here comes the magic moment. The two waves, the original noise and the new anti-sound, they meet right at your eardrum. And what happens when they collide? They completely neutralize each other. The wave just flattens out. And the sound? It just fizzles into silence. A really simple way to think about this is just with basic math. Let's say the peak of the engine noise is like a +2. Well, the trough of the anti-sound wave is a -2. Add them together, and what do you get? 0. Nada. Silence. Think about how wild that is. You are literally adding sound to create quiet. So, okay, that's the physics behind it. But how does a little pair of headphones actually pull this incredible trick off in real time? Let's crack one open and see what's going on inside. It all happens in 4 steps, and they happen incredibly fast. So, step 1, a tiny mic on the outside of your headphones captures the sound around you. Step 2, a little computer chip inside instantly calculates that perfect opposite anti-sound wave. Step 3, it seamlessly combines that anti-sound with your music. And finally, step 4, the speaker inside your headphone plays it all. And when that anti-sound hits the real-world noise right at your ear, poof, it cancels it out. All you're left with is your music. It's brilliant. Now, this is not easy to do. The amount of engineering here is just mind-boggling. A lot of headphones even have a second microphone on the inside just to double-check and make sure the cancellation is working right. And the timing? It has to be perfect. We're talking within milliseconds. If it's even a little bit off, the whole effect is ruined. It all comes down to a super powerful little processor doing all these crazy calculations hundreds and hundreds of times every single second. All right, so if this tech is so amazing, you might be wondering, why can't I just put them on and make the entire world go silent? Well, like any technology, it definitely has its limits. It's not quite a magic mute button for all of reality. You see, active noise cancellation is kind of a specialist. It is absolutely fantastic at getting rid of those constant low-frequency drones. Think airplane engines, the hum of an AC unit. Why? Because those sounds are super consistent and predictable. The processor has plenty of time to figure them out and react. But
It's not so great with sudden, high-pitched sounds like someone talking next to you or a baby crying. Those sounds are just way too complex and they change too fast for the system to keep up and create that perfect anti-sound in time.
So, what does that actually feel like in the real world? Well, let's go back to that loud airplane. In a perfect scenario like that, good noise cancellation can wipe out about 70% of that background drone. And that is a huge deal. It makes an incredible difference, not just for your comfort, but for actually being able to hear your music or podcast without cranking the volume. So there you have it. We've seen how some pretty amazing physics can be bent to our will to create this little bubble of personal silence, even in a super noisy world. It's not magic at all, but it is this kind of beautiful dance between waves and anti-waves. And that leaves us with one final, maybe more philosophical question to think about. In a world where it's so easy to tune out all the noise, what's really worth listening to?